how I see them. Let me clarify, I ain't talking about all women. Some just wanna settle down and have a couple cheering. For all my rapper homies, just be careful while you touring. You meet a pretty girl, but her intentions ain't the purest. I can show you lame, how to do this. Stack your money up, be about your business. They come with a wish list. They come with a wish list. I can show you lame, how to do this. Stack your money up, be about your business. They come with a wish list. They come with a wish list.
Hey, second phone buzzing, just delete the other number, yeah. Cruising at 103 till I seen them team that went the record. She was peeking out the cover. She said, Gigi, wait, you grew up down the street, my uncles up her brothers. I said, jumping back, then lit. You at? She was just running, Emmett Smith, running back. She gotta make it. Rubbing it, just caught up. Then she got me playing down, painting nails, calling me sound like the heads of the way I be chasing. You know she got them brands of the bed. I'm in Miami, so blowing the fans of the jet.
No single building has played host to more Super Bowls than this one right here. The Caesars Superdome in the Crescent City of New Orleans. This is Super Bowl 59, and we've got an outstanding matchup on tap. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis, beyond thrilled to be bringing you the Super Bowl. All the pomp, all the circumstance, all the pageantry. It doesn't get any better than this, partner.
I'm loving sharing this booth with you, sharing this moment, this type of a game. For all the teachers who said we'd never make it, we're here.
And we talk these last couple weeks about the buildup, the anticipation. I think these guys are just ready to get out there and get this thing started.
And I know that both coaching staffs have spent considerable time trying to figure out how to best bring their team up to a peak without taking them over the edge and causing a lot of issues early in the game.
And you don't think much of a pregame speech is needed for this one?
I think the pregame speeches were the shortest all year. If they didn't just say, let's go get them, guys, they probably talked too much.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Throwing is Stafford. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 27 yards there, a first down. Now on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 41. Up the middle with Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Play action. Stafford. Complete to Zacchaeus. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out. Now Stafford. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
Here's Stafford. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick six here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Barkley inside handoff. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. The first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Stafford now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Throwing now is Allen. That one taken in by T. Higgins. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Allen off the play fake. They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. And the Raiders are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd and 7. Now it's Stafford. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now he brings up 3rd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
To throw is Stafford. He's going to let this one go deep. And that would be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here. Here we go on 4th. Stafford looking deep for Jennings. And got his man complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal as he's inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Stafford going to change it up here. They'll look to throw here. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are an extra point away from taking the lead in this Super Bowl.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
And it feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football. And that's exactly what happened there.
The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And they take the lead here at 7-6. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
And now they'll shift things around. On play action, Allen. And his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon.
Wrap up.
Still moving. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Stafford. He'll dump this off, complete to Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Aubrey now for the PAT. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually...
And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Here's Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Dancing to his left. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. We are just getting started here at Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Third down and 13. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. They snap it to Stafford. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. And the Raiders continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Aubrey good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 15 now. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
42-yard line.
And again, it's Chubb. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
That was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And now they'll throw with Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end.
Oh, and now some space to operate. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 23, here's a 2nd and 7.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Xavier Worthy
From 19 yards away.
and the 49ers get a bit closer. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
A give to Barkley out of the gun.
And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And that is incomplete.
Good work there to force the incompletion and 4th down. Normally, it'd be a quick change for the punt return unit, But this offense has converted twice on 4th down so far, so you may want to double-check things there and make sure they're actually going to kick the football.
Here's the Raiders punter now. Back deep is Micah Hyde. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm willing to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Here is 3rd and 5. Now Allen. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They do go for it. Here's Allen. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Eric Rowe. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you meant to the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And they are able to add on to their advantage. So the numbers are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes. Now Stafford will come up, try to get his guys a 2-point conversion. They'll try to run it with Jacobs. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you. An interception's result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond. Not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Allen now looks to throw. Now throw right side, taken in by the tight end Gray. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. They give the Chubb out of the gun, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Allen going to throw. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 21. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. A give running right is Chubb. Tackle made there by Eric Rowe. Here's a 2nd and 5. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run with Chubb, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
4 yards on the pickup. It's now 3rd and goal.
Now Allen going to change it up. A final shot before half for Allen. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Noah Gray in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Niners are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the 1st half. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further.
49ers 20.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Oh, he shifts past him. And this is going to be a Raiders 1st down as he's able to get this up past the 40. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl.
And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they trail here in the Super Bowl, but fortunately for them, Charles, very much still within striking range.
Yeah, things didn't go exactly the way they planned in the first half. To me, they appeared to be a little bit tight, made a few errors they normally wouldn't, but of course, this is the Super Bowl, so things get a little bit heightened in that regard. But I think they have to feel a little fortunate. They're only down what they are here starting the third quarter.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 2. In motion right goes Higgins. And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Chubb. And at the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 28 yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to gallop the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And how about this, a fake? And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. How about that for a call? Leading in the second half, fake punt, but this one's going to work against them.
And, partner, I love a fake punt as much as anyone. In fact, I might love it more than other people, but in this case, probably a step too far because not only does it not work, but look at the field position.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Raiders are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That play doomed from the start thanks to the defensive effort of Grady Jarrett. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the end zone, Stafford looking deep for Jennings. And got his man complete. Through the middle of the field. And a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will
finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So the big gain through the air, but scratch it all off because he could not hang on to the football.
And you have to like what they did on defense here. They didn't give up on the play. Big yardage given up, but they still battled all the way to the end and helped force a turnover.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. To the air, Allen. And he is caught. Touchdown, 49ers. Xavier Worthy, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the 49ers are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is down to 2. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Now Stafford. Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. So, my goodness, I would have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They go up the middle with Chubb. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 97 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
They'll run with Robinson.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there. But that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Robinson again.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Brian Robinson Jr. taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Niners have regained the lead in the second half of this Super Bowl. Though CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
The Niners take over first and 10 at the 42-yard line.
So after the INT, it's Allen. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Chubb on the counter. And he'll be taken down at the 34.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And oh, he's just going to be short here. Barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
A gain of 3. It's now 4th down and less than a yard.
An audible here to get a new look. They'll run for it. Chubb. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. Nick Chubb stops short. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's the surprise, because normally That's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the first down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. And now here's another interception. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. Down the right sideline. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick six.
I think that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily to look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So that's the end of 3 here in Super Bowl 59 from Caesars Super. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the Niners will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they have been the better of the two sides to this point with a 2-score lead, 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy within reach as they start this drive 1st and 10.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? On 3rd down, Robinson. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, what a great job defensively to stack things up. They were committed to stopping the run. They knew it was coming. And now it looks like they should get the football back as they force an important 3 and out.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw is Stafford. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. 29 yards. And the Niners are starting to pull away in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the 4th. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago is starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. This 2nd and 4. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Steps away to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Chubb running right. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Second down, here's Chubb again. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Now Allen. And that is incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and the lead will stay put at 17. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
And now Stafford's going to move him around.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Here's Stafford. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Now they'll audible to something else.
Stafford.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking deep for Jennings. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Eluding the pressure right.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
How about this? They'll change it at the line.
And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And that will close the gap down to 14.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
On the ground, it's Gray. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On play action, Allen.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
A gain of 17 yards. And the Las Vegas first down. First and 10.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping. Inbounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
Barkley, inside handoff. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw, Stafford. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And the 49ers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have it. And my goodness, another interception.
Troy Hill picks it. And the Raiders will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Well, they're not going to go quietly. That's a big play right there. 2 scores down. They're not out of this, but they've got to move.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle.
Touchdown!
Jerron Jennings.
His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Raiders have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
They're going to run it with Barkley. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for two is snuffed out. So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a two-point conversion to tie. And the 49er hands team does its job. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. To throw is Allen. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's across for a late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
And he pushed it right. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
And this is not going to wind up anywhere near the landing zone, so this will be blown dead, and they'll move it up to the 40. This is 1st and 10.
Now it's Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations, and you've often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. And they'll indeed take a knee. And the San Francisco 49ers will hoist the Lombardi Trophy as Super Bowl champions.
For the victors, getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
On the podium is Commissioner Goodell. He'll present the Lombardi Trophy to the San Francisco 49ers, champions of Super Bowl 59. So that will conclude our coverage this year on EA Sports. I want to thank my partner, Charles Davis, for another incredible season together in the booth. Till the fall, folks, Brandon Gaudin saying good night from New Orleans.